Hey guys, how are you doing? Today in this video, we are going to talk about NISAR mission. What if I told you a satellite could detect the slightest land movement even before a landslide or volcano erupts? That's exactly what the NISAR mission, a historic NASA-ISRO collaboration, aims to do so. Just recently launched and already in the news, this mission is gold point for your UPSC mains GS-3 prelims and even essay examination. In this video, we will explore how NISAR works, what makes it so special and so on and so forth. Let's begin what exactly NISAR stands for, and here we go. NISAR stands for NASA-ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar. Okay, so first let's talk about this. This is N is NASA and I is for ISRO synthetic, synthetic aperture radar. I guess you must be knowing what radars, what is the, principle of radars. And if you don't know, then we are going to talk about it some other day. But for the time being, I, assume that you know about it. What is synthetic aperture here? Unlike a physical large antenna, SAR जो है, synthetic aperture radars uses a moving small antenna. Okay, this small antenna is moving like a satellite or like aircraft. Okay, this is what this synthetic aperture means. As it moves, it collects data over time and digitally synthesize a large antenna. Okay, और उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Aperture बोलते हैं. And using the motion and signal processing, this gives a very high spatial resolutions, better than traditional radar systems. That is beauty about it. What are radar actually? They are, it uses microwave frequencies which can penetrate clouds, rain and darkness. You must be, knowing about, electromagnetic radiation, or agar aapko nahi pata, you can go through a video which I have already made. And this electromagnetic radiation consists of, gamma rays. Then there are X-rays, a bit little, less energy. Then you have ultraviolet, and after ultraviolet you have this visible range which human eye can detect, which is VIBGYOR, right? VIVZYOR, VIBGYOR है ना. Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. फिर उसके बाद आपका आता है infrared है ना, and then microwaves and radio waves. Okay, so you should understand this, this portion has, for example, if I were to talk you, तो ये वाला जो है इस साइड में इन दिस डायरेक्शन लैम्डा इंक्रीजेस. लैम्डा इज टेक्निकली कॉल्ड वेवलेंथ, kind of size of the wave, and leftwards it is energy basically. So gamma rays have highest energy. Similarly, violet has highest energy as compared to red, right? So these waves are used by radars, sometimes called radio detection and ranging, right? Radar. Okay, these devices, they use microwave frequencies which can penetrate clouds. Okay, they can penetrate clouds and even darkness also. Unlike optical imaging cameras, SAR can works day and night in all weather conditions, right? Microwaves, you should be knowing about microwaves, 2.4 gigahertz, which is very important frequency, and it is used widely. Okay, so this is the idea of this NISAR, right? It was, let me tell you, and if you understand this, so NISAR, which has the mission life of 5 years. इसका जो है 90 days के बाद, when it was launched in previous Wednesday. And let me tell you, it will start working after 90 days and it has lifespan of 5 years, which will observe Earth with a swath of 242 kilometers with high spatial resolution, right? और इसमें जो इसरो का GSLV F-16 को यूज किया गया है, GSLV F-16 was used, okay, to carry this NISAR satellite from Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh, right? What is the, it is the first major Earth observing satellite with radar of 2 frequencies, right? The radars of NISARs to monitor both surface and subsurface changes through cloud, smoke and vegetation. Its scan on receive methods will give you a spatial resolution of 3 to 10 meters. That is the basic idea behind it. And let me quickly tell you, it is the joint venture of NASA. Okay, so NISAR, NASA and ISRO, right? So it is the joint venture of NASA and ISRO. NASA की अगर मैं बात करूं तो NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, तो इसने क्या किया, L band बनाया है ना. तो अगर आपको L bands के बारे में नहीं पता है, L band, X band, then go through a video which I have already made. So L band was made by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. NASA's, okay, let me tell you, NASA's Jet Propulsion laboratory, JPL है ना, laboratory, that was made by this, okay, L-band radar basically, okay, so properly speaking L-band radar, this L-band radar was made by NASA, right? And उसके अलावा जो इसमें क्या था, radars reflectors radars reflector and boom. For example, NASA is also providing, if I were to say, it is providing, you know, subsystem, communication subsystem for data, right? So it is also providing communication subsystem, communication subsystem for data, right? For data, that is the part played by NASA. And GPS, global positioning satellite receivers, right? GCB, GPS receivers is also provided by NASA, right? Apart from that, a solid state recorder and payload data subsystem, right? So let me tell you, NASA is also providing solid state recorders, solid state recorder, and you know, the payload data subsystem. Payload data subsystem. I don't know how much it is going to be used in your examination, but you should understand what is basically this collaboration is all about, okay? But आपको applications इसके ज़्यादा पता होने चाहिए, which I am going to talk, you know, shortly. But India, what India has built, it has built basically spacecraft bus and S-band radar, है ना? सबसे पहले तो आपको क्या पता होना चाहिए, जो S-band radar है, this was built by, you know, L and S band, दो प्रकार के इसमें क्या है, radar है, synthetic aperture है. This was built by, you know, ISRO or India basically. And spacecraft bus, okay, spacecraft bus, ठीक है, तो ये ध्यान रखना. तो all right, okay, and let me tell you, apart from this, India is also providing launch vehicle, which I talked to you, right? So launch vehicle is also provided by, you know, GSLV, geosynchronous launch vehicle F-16, right? Just याद रखना इसको, right? F-16, that is the carrying, you know, which is carrying the NISAR satellites, that was provided by India, right? So not only launch vehicle, so you can also say you know, launch service operation. Okay, this is it basically, right? So what it is going to do, this NISAR satellite will scan Earth, you know, and provide all weather day and night data basically, right? So हर weather में काम करेगा. So this system is going to provide all weather data, and not only in daytime but day and night both. Okay, that is one of the beauty, day night data, you know, both day night data. Okay, if you can see this newspaper headlines, then shoreline monitoring, storm characterization, mapping of surface water resources, and so on and so forth. This is what it is going to give us, right? Okay, I hope you have understood this. Okay, so this is what it is going to give you. And let me tell you, most importantly, this is, you know, in the next satellites, most important application about this, you know, it can give you the changes, the positions basically, you know, it means you are able to see slight movement, right? Most importantly, this is going to be beneficial in agriculture, you know, let me tell you, if you want to see, it is going to be beneficial in agriculture. I am going to talk about disaster management also. If you have disaster management, अभी आपने Cloudburst की एक न्यूज सुनी होगी recently in Uttarkashi, you know. So disaster management, जिसमें suddenly क्या हुआ था, and that video is also circulating on you know, social media sites. आप देखोगे कि टाइम नहीं मिलता है लोगों को मूव करने का, but if we have these kind of satellite systems, it can give us, you know, early warning basically, you know, disaster management में early warning. And why it is possible? Because even if there is a slightest movement, it could, you know, it could give you, right? So it could be glacier, mountain, land, anything. If it is moving, it can give you data with unprecedented level of fidelity, right? So remember one thing, if any surface is moving, most important, if any surface is slightly moving, which you can't see otherwise, slightly moving. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इवन बी इट माउंटेन है ना, चाहे वो लैंडस्लाइड हो, बी इट लैंडस्लाइड, मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंटली अर्लियर वी टॉक्ड अबाउट ग्लेशियर्स आल्सो, सो चाहे उसमें क्या हो, ग्लेशियर्स की मूवमेंट हो, वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट जीएलओ इवेंट्स, यू नो, तो ग्लेशियर्स हो, चाहे उसमें इवन फॉर दैट मैटर इवन बिल्डिंग्स आर शिफ्टिंग, यू नो, ड्यू टू अर्थक्वेक मूवमेंट्स, यू नो, अर्थक्वेक में जो सीस्मिक वेव की के कारण जो मूवमेंट्स होती हैं, राइट, body waves basically, you can, you know, you can see them, you know, even for even mountain or forest, you know, anything, you know, if anything is moving, it can give you with a data with unprecedented level of, so it can provide you data with unprecedented level of fidelity, है ना. तो this is something new about this NISAR satellite, you know. Earlier those earth observing satellites, they were not able to give you those slightest movement, right? So if any structure, चाहे वो forest हो, buildings हो, if they are moving, then it can give you some data, right? alright, तो इसके कारण आपको क्या हो सकता है, आप अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम भी क्या कर सकते हो, क्रिएट कर सकते हो, राइट. रिस्क असेसमेंट में दिस इज गोइंग टू बी हेल्पफुल इन risk assessment in different level, right? Risk assessment, right? So that this is what can be used, right? Okay, so these are the basic applications of these satellites. I have already told you shore line monitoring, for example, you know, shore like monitoring, right? Disaster management is most important monitoring, you know, like I have told you, you know, cloudburst, you know, cloudburst, GLOF events, which we have talked in earlier video recently. So just cloudburst, and these two events can leads to flash floods. Recent case was in 2023, you know, it was Sikkim, and recently in 2025 it is in Uttarkashi, you know. So these events are very, you know, critical, right? So this can be helpful for you, right? They are also used for water resources, right? Okay, water resources, so you can identify water resources with the help of these satellites, right? I hope this is clear to you. So these are the applications of NISAR satellites which are going to make great difference. Alright, so before we wind up this video, it was a short video, let me give you one question for your answer writing practice, and this question reads as the following: how can advanced satellite missions like NISAR enhance India's disaster preparedness and climate resilience? That is one part of the you know, question. But the second part of the question which I want you to, because I have given you the reference of the recent cloudburst triggered flash floods in Uttarkashi, you could have you could be giving, you know, instance of GLOF events like Kedarnath in 2013, 2023, you know, it was in Sikkim 2024, I guess, you know. So go through that video, you will come to know. So we wind up this video. Thank you so very much. If you really like our video, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, share and comment also. Okay, thank you very much. See you guys until next time.